Hello everyone, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. There are some really bad things happening in the economy right now, and quite frankly, sometimes bad news needs to be delivered by the right person. And that person is the Economic Ninja. Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. We have ourselves some bad news. And we have two news stories we're gonna go over today, and they are very, very serious. Why? We are in the middle of being destroyed by the Federal Reserve and a handful of countries. We have a handful of countries, being the BRICS nations plus Saudi Arabia, that are hell-bent on destroying our country because of things that we have done against other countries using our currency as a weapon. On top of that, we have a Federal Reserve that is hell-bent on destroying us through higher rates. And that story is coming out as well. Can you see that behind you? What is that? What is that? That right there is a California cougar. Now, just so you know, I'm a trained professional and I've been told they're extremely dangerous because they steal your money. All right, here we go. Let's do the news. Oh, now, and just so you know, some people may be hyper-caffeinated. All right, let's get our news on. Here we go. First story is gonna be out of the Federal Reserve. Fed Governor Waller agrees the central bank can proceed carefully on interest rates. Well, why would you proceed carefully, Mr. Waller? Well, it's because we're so close to completely destroying the economy and the public is about to find out. Oh, that makes sense. So we're gonna proceed carefully, just ever so gingerly. Says Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller said Tuesday that the recent round of strong economic data will buy the central bank some time as it decides whether additional interest rate hikes are needed to control inflation. Well, let me ask everyone here right now. Type 1 if you think the Federal Reserve is going to continue raising rates, that they're not done. And type 2 if you think, nah, the economy's had enough. This isn't going to help Jeff Morgan's poll numbers. Just, we're done. I think, honestly, that they're not done because of what's happening in the next story. I can't tell you. You can't give away the surprise. He says, that was a hell of a good week of data we got last week. And the key thing out of it is it's going to allow us to proceed carefully, Waller told CNBC's Steve Leisman during a Squawk Box interview. We can just sit there, wait, think about this. We can just sit there, wait for the data, and see if things continue. How do you like that? We're just like, let's just sit around and wait. Let's just see what happens. It's like when Jerome Powell came out in December of 2020. People were getting so upset that the Federal Reserve had lost control of inflation. They went past their 2% mandate, and they're like, we're gonna get in control of this inflation thing. We'll start in the spring. We'll start in like 4 months. Why not do it right then? You see, the Federal Reserve is really good at waiting. Have you ever been in the military and heard the term hurry up and wait? Type 3 below if you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's so true. And the Federal Reserve is no different. They're like, let's do something, but we'll actually do it later. We'll do it in the future. Okay? So it's okay. It's all right. Now remember, I've told you this before and I'll say it again. You need to see where the consensus is, and these little tiny interviews with Fed governors, it tells you what they're going to do in the future. So there might be a pause here. They might pause for a month. Ooh. Again, they would always want to pause 1 month out of a quarter because they want the earnings from all the companies to not be as abysmal. Okay. Highlighting those data points was Friday's non-farm payrolls report, which showed better than expected growth of 187,000 jobs in August, while average hourly earnings rose just 0.2% for the month, lower than forecast. Yeah, crap. They don't realize everyone that's been watching the Economic Ninja goes over the ninja goes over the revised numbers, and those are bad, and there's less full-time jobs, and there's more part-time jobs, thanks to Bidenomics. Score. The biggest thing is just inflation. This is your Fed, one of your Fed governors. The biggest thing is just inflation, Waller said. We got 2 good reports in a row. That key, or the key now, is to see whether this low inflation is a trend or if it's just an outlier or a fluke. Would you look at that? Would you just look at it? Look at that little Fed Governor Waller just saying inflation's going down. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? I don't believe it. I think that's total crap. Why do I think that's total crap? Is because the Federal Reserve's really good and the government's really good about taking the truth out and just shoving lies right up your pie hole and going, here you go, like rays of sunshine. It's like a unicorn fart. Think about this. They take food and energy out of these key metrics and they go, I don't see any inflation. You mean the two things we can't live without or we don't want to live without? I don't know if you know this, but I don't know if you guys agree, but I love going into the house and turn on the switch and there was light. I feel super important. I just like that. I like going into my my fridge and going, I want nice cold. Put it down in the comments what I'm thinking. And I want to be able to have it because of electricity. But prices are going up and the Fed figured it out. Well, there's a bunch of idiots out there in the economy. 99% of the sheeple don't have any clue what inflation is. So we'll just take out the key metrics and tell them, we don't see any inflation. Type 5 if you got a family member that is that dumb, that believes these things, that watches CNN and Fox News and whatever. See, but wow, inflation's going down. I guess I should go spend more money like a mindless idiot. Oh, this is great. I love this crap. Type 5 if you got that. I got all kinds of people in my life like that. They'll just believe anything they're told. Waller, it says, is generally considered one of the more hawkish members of the rate-setting Federal Reserve Open Market Committee, meaning he has favored tighter monetary policy and higher interest rates as the central bank battles inflation that in the summer of 2022 was running at its highest rates in more than 40 years. While he was encouraged by recent reports on where prices are trending, he said they also indicate that the Fed can afford to hold rates higher until it is sure inflation is on the run. Do you understand? Now, I've said this before, and he's saying it right there. I said the Fed never goes from raising to lowering. If you think for a second they're going to go from raising to lowering, unless there is some market collapse, like where you see a 25% shaved off all the major indices in pretty short order, they're not going to lower rates. They want you to feel maximum pain and then pain until the consumer's back is broke. That's it. That's how it works. So he goes on to say that depends on the data. Waller said when asked whether rate increases can stop, we will have to wait and see if this inflation trend is continuing. Look, I've already told you this a million times. It's continuing. Energy and food. Those are the two things you need to watch. That will tell you if the Fed is done raising rates. A third thing, and it's going to come into play with this next story, is how other countries view holding our dollar. Is it worth it? And one reason it would be worth it to hold our currency is if they got a rate of return back. And at the same time, we don't destroy the purchasing power of our currency by printing too much money. So see, right now we are in a Fed tightening cycle with interest rates raising and things like that. Even though the Fed is sort of got that repo window open because the banks are crashing, it's still viewed upon as tightening. All right, so here we go. Here's a great quote. So I want to be very clear. This is the Fed Governor Waller saying this. I want to be very clear about saying we've kind of done the job on inflation until we see a couple of months. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. These are word for word. Here's the quote again. So I want to be very clear about saying we've kind of done the job on inflation until we see a couple months of continuing along this trajectory before I say we're done doing anything. That means nothing. I'm going to repeat it again. This is word for word. I kid you not. This is the quote. So I want to be very careful about saying we've kind of done the job on inflation until we see a couple months continuing along this trajectory before I say we're done doing anything. That is called double speak, double talk. He might as well be a politician. Probably going to become one. Probably going to be a Democrat. Point being is this. They're not done. They're not done. Let's get the next news story. Wait, hold on. I need some coffee. This is delicious. Oh, 100% Arabica. All right, here we go. We got our next story. This one's a doozy. Hope to keep all the freshness sealed in. All right, here we go. Thank you to everybody that hits the thumbs up. Sometimes you need to be a little sarcastic because, well, let's be honest, sarcasm is the lowest form of humor, and it gets us through the day. Now, this story's out of Zero Hedge, and this is important. It's about oil. Now, remember, I've talked about energy, food. Hyperinflation's coming. Oil soars to new 2023 high after the Saudis and Russia surprise with extended production cut. What? Wait, what? The Ninja's been saying this is going to happen over and over for so many times. Oh boy, they want to destroy us. Here we go. Just days after we said that Saudi Aramco floating to sell up to 50 billion in new stock meant that oil is about to soar much higher. Moments ago, oil exploded. Remember, I told you oil's going triple digits, right? Can you imagine what triple digit oil is going to do? And with the gasoline futures and all that kind of stuff getting bid up in the stock market, what national fuel prices are going to go to in the fall? And then if this holds on till next summer, holy cow. All right, moments ago, oil exploded higher. After Russia and Saudi Arabia announced and surprised the markets that the recently implemented production cuts would extend through the year end, well beyond the 1 month that was widely expected by the market. Remember, everyone thinks that Russia is like super weak, right? That's what your mainstream media is telling you, that they're super weak, that they're broke, that everything's bad. Well, then why would they slow down their oil? They must have something that we don't, or know something we don't, because they may think that they hold all the keys. I think so. Just after 9 a.m. Eastern, Saudi Arabia said it would extend the voluntary cut of 1 million barrels a day for another 3 months, from October until the end of December, well beyond the expectation of just 1 more month. Saudi press agency SPA noted that the voluntary cut decision will be reviewed monthly to consider deepening the cut or increasing production. Which one do you think they're going to do? I think they're going to deepen the cut. I think they're going to twist, really put the screws to us right here on this one. The extension of cuts is meant to reinforce the precautionary efforts made by OPEO countries. I don't even know what that acronym stands for. Type 6 if you hate acronyms. I do. I'd be typing 6 like crazy. With the aim of supporting the stability of the oil market. And then, literally seconds after the Saudi decision, Russia Deputy Prime Minister Novak said Russia would also extend its reduction of oil exports. It's almost like they're colluding. It's almost like they're doing this together. Those BRICS countries. Who cares, right? I mean, just keep listening to like mainstream media. I'm joking. Don't do that. That'd be bad. Similar to the Saudis, Russia said that its decision to reduce oil production to be reviewed monthly to consider. Wait a minute. They have literally the same press release. That's weird. It's almost like we have multiple big countries with lots of natural resources wanting to destroy us and coming up with a plan. They're also all buying gold. Stupid. Following this announcement, Brent, November 23rd contracts lifted from 88.50 to above 90 for the first time in 2023, while WTI, or West Texas Intermediate, October 23 contract rose from 85.55 to $87. This is also the highest price of the year and about to crush the Fed's hopes for a decline in headline inflation. Holy cow, this is insane. Would you look at that? Would you just look at it? Look at Russia and all these other countries that want to destroy us. The Fed just wants everything to mellow out. Can't we all just be friends? Can't we go back to how we used to do it, how we used to take advantage of you and export our inflation? Come on, we're the Federal Reserve. Would you look at that? Oh, gosh darn Jerome Powell. I'm thinking about sneaking into a little side note here. I'm thinking about flying to Jekyll Island and sneaking into the room that's usually locked where the Federal Reserve was actually formed and live streaming it for you guys there. I think that'd be a really fun video. Go sneak in. Let me know below if that would be worth it. I did it once before. I got in. I snuck in a costume of a disguise of shorts and flip-flops, so they thought I was just an idiot, and just walked right by them. It was really cool. I might do that again. Here's the bottom line. We know that a year and a half later, the OPEC plus BRICS reaction to Biden's weaponized dollar is weaponized oil. And this, and may the least hopeless man win. And that is so true. But I do believe that the BRICS nations, with all of their gold and their oil, their natural resources, and then their sheer size, if you compare all these countries compared to us, I don't give a crap about GDP because I think half of it's being lied about. I think we are in trouble. I think this is very serious. As for Biden, we wish him the best of luck refilling the SPR now, or strategic oil reserves, now that oil is about to hit $100 and rise above the price where the senile president sold most of the U.S. strategic oil. Man, that's crazy. It's almost like this president is bought and paid for by the BRICS nations, and he wants to destroy us. That's not a joke, that's serious. If you aren't woke up right now, and I'm talking about the opposite of this woke crap, and you aren't waking up right now and saving your money and getting out of debt, you're going to be in trouble, because we got a head of the White House right now that wants us done. He's a globalist puppet, not a leader, but he is bought and paid for. It's being proven left and right. This is not a joke. And honestly, I don't even know how much time I've got to be able to share this kind of truth, because they're putting AI bots out there to start analyzing everything we say and start taking us down for misinformation, whatever. This is scary crap. It's time to get ready. Share these videos as much as you can, because I don't know how much time we have to even warn other people until everyone turns into mindless robots. All right, with that being said, I thank you guys so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.